Hey there, everybody. This is Jerry from Constricted and Addicted. Today, we are doing a special episode and we have a special guest. We are going to be doing a series of interviews, maybe once a month. And today, we are going to be interviewing Ben from Cincysnakes. He's a good buddy of mine. We talk regularly. And I thought, I'd bring him in, ask him some questions, and share them with you. If you haven't checked out his Instagram page, check out Ben Cincysnakes on Instagram or Ben Cincysnakes on YouTube, the Constrictor Chamber. He's got some great animals. I'd love to have you check him out. And here we go. But going back to your channel, and I found you. I don't even remember how I found you. I was Googling probably boa constrictors, and you came up. What made you start your channel? What was that? What did you do that said, I gotta start a YouTube channel about my reptiles?
I guess two things. One was, I own the animals, and it just kind of sucks to keep them, in here, and then nobody would experience them. Nobody gets to see them. And I just thought it would be nice so people could look or observe or see what different snakes look like or how snakes are in general, rather than just keeping them cooped up in little boxes. And just not let, and then they would be in here forever. Like nobody would ever see them. Nobody would ever see interactions with the animals. And I just thought maybe it would be a good thing so people could see, maybe like if somebody's looking for a ghost boa, and then I have a Instagram with a ghost boa, multiple pictures, they'd be like, I like that. I want to buy one. Now I know what it looks like, and then stuff like that, other than looking on Morph Market and seeing edited pictures or something else, something like that. But I don't know, I was kind of in a low point also in my life, and it just gave me, instead of like sitting on a couch and watching TV, like feeling bad for myself, I just started doing snake stuff, and it took my mind off of everything. And then it just kind of was like pictures, video. This is taking like a couple of hours out of my time after work. And so instead, when I got home from work, I would do that instead of watching TV or something else. And I've been more productive, I would say, with the snakes, or maybe I have to be more productive because I have more responsibilities now than just working all day, watch Netflix, go to bed, and just do the same routine. You know what I mean? And it was just like, my life sucks. And so now but now it's like I get home from work, and since all my snakes are on a different schedule, it's always cleaning, it's always checking the animals, it's always some type of an interaction, which is not a bad thing. And
like
then every day,
job.
Oh,
it's like a second full-time job.
It is, with no pay, except for the enjoyment of my work.
Exactly. Yes.
But then Pop Tart, Dan kind of shoot. It's almost every day I have to clean our water tank out every single day. So it's like, I know exactly what I'm going to do when I get home from work. Change your water, check everybody else, but is what it is.
Well, one of the things that like I said, when I started watching your channel, I got was the difference in snakes that you had. I don't think you may have had a couple of ball pythons, but you had your ghost.
Yeah.
Your Argentine, of course, is one of my favorites. You've got your normal BCI too. That's probably about 6 feet long or so.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The anacondas, of course, and there was some things in your collection that, of course, grabbed my attention to say, hey, I would love to add that to my collection. So
Yeah.
There's your Moonglow, your IMG. Now, fortunately, I don't have my IMG. We were talking about snakes that have attitudes. That snake literally would throw itself out of the bin to try to get me. I mean, it's a whole different world. When we talk about the retic, right? The retic was striking at me, but it wasn't throwing its whole body out of the bin to try to get me. So yeah, I don't know what it was about that little snake, but it scared the living daylights out of me. The retic, I had to walk through that fear. I had to literally walk through that fear of the retic and get to the other side, which now we have this great relationship. It's amazing. But watching your channel was an avenue for me to take a look at just the different types of snakes, plus the fact that you got your BCIs, you got your BCCs, you got your BCOs, you've got different types of localities. So there's a lot of education in there too, and not thinking that, I can go to PetSmart and pick up a boa constrictor and I've got a red tail boa. So,
Yeah.
but I've noticed there's been a lot of ball pythons added to your collection. So I'm gonna assume, and you're gonna correct me, if there's more money in breeding ball pythons than there is in boa constrictors.
As in
The enormous amount of ball pythons that you have added to your collection. You have got some serious money in your ball python collection. Like, for instance, that mystic that you have, I mean, I haven't seen that snake in probably 2 weeks since you posted it, and I still think about it because it's a beautiful looking ball python. You've got your black pastel pieds.
Yeah, I got 2 of those. The 2 mystics are in shed. Two mystics are male and female, and they came out of the same clutch. So, and then it's kind of weird. They both go into shed at the same time. They're both in shed, so they don't really look that great right now. And then I got like, I don't have like top of the line stuff because everything is super expensive. But the way I went about it was like, if I get into breeding, I want to have a couple heavy hitters that would look kind of nice to do. And so I would rather spend, I'm just throwing out a ballpark and it's kind of embarrassing to say. So like, let's just say you have 10 grand. So instead of buying $100 snakes or $50, $100, $200 snakes and stuff like that, I spend 100 grand and I could get 8 ball pythons. So I have to remember, I have to feed these snakes for 2 years, possibly 3 every week. And you know what I mean? That's however much money it's going to be. But if you're going to spend $400 a month on food, so you do all this and then you buy the incubators and then you breed them, and you're breeding a $200 snake to a $200 snake, the babies are going to be like, no matter, depending on what you get, depending on what the value is, the snakes could have dropped value and now every baby's $100. Are you going to get your money back? It's probably going to take forever to get your money back. But if you buy $2,000-$3,000 animals, and you only feed 2 animals and you breed them, and let's say the value drops a little bit, but everything in the lowest amount of money in that clutch is $1,500. That's $1,500 plus all the other good stuff. So it's just kind of like I just went with buy less than to buy more with the same price amount. But I've bought a lot of ball pythons, and I'm not even like, and before I was like, I don't like ball pythons at all. Since I got the boas, I got all the boas. Now I'm seeing all these like awesome clowns and awesome pieds and the mystics and stuff like that. It's just like, well, if I do go into breeding, at least I can have some pretty good stuff to try to breed. And we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of positive stuff and then there's a lot of negative stuff in breeding. So gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. But the people on my channel, it's kind of weird because I'll get a ton of views on, I'm not gonna say a ton, I'll get the majority of the views on the boa stuff and the berm stuff. And then once it comes to ball pythons, it's nobody wants to see it. But again, what's saturating YouTube right now in the reptile world is ball pythons. So somebody's like, oh, here's another ball python. You know what I mean? Because they're everywhere, which is not a bad thing. But I don't think there's too many boa. There's definitely not as many boa channels as ball python channels.
I love the boa constrictors. I will always favor the boa constrictors, even though I've got a really good relationship with my retic, and I've got another retic coming because I can't explain, I can't put into words how I feel about that super dwarf. It's just beautiful. So I bought another one. I'm excited
to see your other one.